Hello everyone, and I wanted to do a special video tonight, kind of focusing on current events like the Jerry Epstein situation. We just heard a couple days ago that he committed suicide after being on a suicide watch while he is locked up in jail for sex trafficking violations. I believe it's for underage people, maybe some, adults too, but I think it's mainly underage children. And like I said, he just committed suicide, or so they say. So I want to do a little reading to kind of clarify everything and kind of to help me and all of us understand what was going on and what was his mindset. And like other things that surrounded that situation, because it's a sick, twisted, and disgusting situation. And I just want to do some clarifications on that. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle and ask the cards. Okay. More insight on Jerry Epstein. Did he commit suicide? And can we get some clarifications on what his charges or what his guilty mind was? Okay, Jerry Epstein. All right, to just start off, trying to get all the cards in the frame. Okay, so to just start off, it looks like this is telling me that he was like a leader in this whole situation. Maybe not like at the top, but one high enough to where he was calling shots at one point, and he had many people underneath him that was protecting him and that was keeping him away from the scrutiny of it all. So this kind of made him feel a little invincible and untouchable. What this card is telling me is that, yeah, like I said, there are multiple people. He probably had a significant other who was in on it, and it was more of a front, kind of, so that people wouldn't suspect him, or so that he can hide the deeds that he was doing, the disgusting deeds that he was committing against young children. Again, this is telling me that he felt like, he was untouchable and he could pretty much do what he wants and nobody could do anything about it, which is when people get away with things for so long, they get into that mind frame that, okay, well, I'm gonna keep doing it because I've been doing it for so long, nothing's happened yet, and they haven't caught me. I'm protected, I'm a boss, and I can do this without, anybody doing anything to me. And this kind of makes me feel like he felt again untouchable. Like, all these cards are telling me that in his mind, before all of he was caught and everything, he felt like he was untouchable. He could walk into any room and command the respect that he thinks he deserves, and nobody would have anything to say to him or negatively to say to him. Again, this is telling me that he was high enough up to where he called the shots and told people what to do, and he organized a lot of these things. And this is representing the people, the children that he misled, that he trafficked, that he probably raped himself. More than likely he did rape himself. And what this is telling me again is that maybe he married or had a long-term relationship with one of the children that he was trafficking. I mean, obviously after they were aged out or turned legal or whatnot, maybe he had a long-term relationship or even married to one of them, which is not uncommon. A lot of these pedophiles do things like that. Sorry about that. But yeah, a lot of these pedophiles do things like that, where they love little kids, and then they know that legally they can't marry them, they can't be with them out in public, so they wait till they're of age and then they go out and they marry them. This is probably the same, referring to the same person or the same situation he was dealing with. And again, this is telling me that yeah, he might have married and had children of his own with this person that he was trafficking when they were younger. Alright, so what this is telling me again, the invincible feeling that he held, and feeling like he was Lord of the Manor and untouchable, and all of that came to an end, which that's what the death card represents, is an ending to something. So his reign and his hold over everybody underneath him came to an end, and here you see everybody else in his field or who was a part of what he was doing kind of condemned him and put everything else on him just to keep themselves out of the out of the limelight, or not to be associated with that, so they can carry on doing what they're doing. And here it is, it might look like that same person that he probably married or had a long-term relationship kind of helped to get him caught in a way. So yeah, I believe, because we all know, well, I know that he didn't commit suicide. I mean, this whole sex trafficking, pedophilia thing, it goes a long way. I mean, he wasn't the only one. He wasn't at the top of the hill. He was one of the flunkies, but he felt like he was high enough to where he was protected. And as you can see here, he wasn't. They disassociated themselves from him so that he can take the blame, and then it'll be shifted off for them. And what happened is he saw that, well, damn, my life is over as it is. I might as well roll on some of these people. And, these people are extremely high up to where, everybody listens to them. They make one call, and even though they're doing some vile, disgusting, evil things, they have enough money and they have enough power to call up whoever they need to call up to fix him and get rid of him. So yeah, it's pretty plain, it's pretty simple. Like, he had information, they didn't want it to get out, they shut him up the only way they knew how. And quite frankly, I wished we were in a position to where we could shut the whole thing down, but this the root of it is so deep, and it's so strong in a way that this one man couldn't take them down by himself. I wish he did, because it would take a lot of pedophiles off the street and to where our kids would be safe. But as long as we got one pedophile off the street, and I think I'm good. I don't want to say I'm good with that. I'm just glad that at least one of them is off, and hopefully soon more of them will be off the street. But you know, it's rough out there, because you do have these people that can pretty much shut up whoever they need to shut up. So it's hard to disassemble something like this. But anywho, yeah, he felt invisible. He got rolled on. His reign came to an end, and he had to take the blame, and they had to take him out. So that's what it is. And it looks like, because you see how they're facing different directions, the king and the queen, it looks like one of the really higher ups could be a woman, which that's not uncommon either, because there are a lot of women that aid in doing stuff like this, because the women are more trusted. Like a kid would more go off with a strange woman than a strange man, because they see a woman as soft and motherly and stuff like that. So it looks like one of the higher ups could be a woman. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and leave it there. That pretty much tells us what we need to know about this whole situation. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching. Good night.